Silva, Head of Business Development and Marketing here at Clico Credit Union. So welcome to our second installment of CCU's Empowered webinar series aimed at empowering and improving the lives of our members and the communities we serve through financial education. Today's webinar is a very exciting and much anticipated session entitled Roots to Riches, using Agri-sense, S-E-N-S-E, to cultivate Agri-sense, C-E-N-T-S. So why did we choose to have a webinar on agribusiness? Well, agriculture plays a crucial role in our economy and daily lives, yet it is often undervalued. Many still perceive agriculture or having a career as a farmer as less reputable or sustainable compared to the traditional careers as lawyers, doctors, managers, and bankers, etc. So our goal today is really to debunk that mindset by highlighting the potential and opportunities within the agricultural sector and its value chain. We can inspire new generation to pursue careers in this field, promoting sustainability and self-sufficiency, and really seeing it as a viable investment for our future. So before we get started, here are some housekeeping rules to guide today's session. Please keep your microphones muted to avoid any disruptions during the presentation. Post your questions in the chat during the session and we will address them after the presentation. And for those of you who have already shared your questions in advance, our facilitator, Alpha, will hopefully cover them during the session. With that being said, I would like to introduce our facilitator today, Mr. Alpha Sennon. Alpha Sennon is the founder and executive director of WHYFARM and is dedicated to nurturing the future nourishers of 2050. He introduced the groundbreaking food and nutrition security superheroes, Agriman and Photosynthesister, and launched the captivating Agriman AG Ventures comic book series, both in Trinidad and the region, showcasing his commitment to inspiring youth to contribute to food security through innovation, creativity, and agripreneurship. Alpha is a trailblazer in agricultural education entertainment, redefining how agricultural education is approached. His initiatives under WHYFARM have become a source of inspiration worldwide. As the first Ashoka Fellow in Trinidad and Tobago and a member of the prestigious 50 Next class, Alpha is a recognized thought leader and social entrepreneur. He is an alumnus of the U.S. Embassy's Young Leaders of the Americas initiative and was recently selected as the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Above and Beyond 2023 honoree. Alpha graduated with first-class honors from the University of the West Indies, majoring in agribusiness with minors in entrepreneurship and communication extension. He's currently pursuing a PhD in agricultural education at Auburn University. So without further ado, let's hand it over to the agribusinessman, the agri-man himself. Please help me welcome Mr. Alpha Sennon.
Thank you so very much, Maritza. It's indeed a pleasure to be here this afternoon. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm definitely honored. I'm definitely honored to be here to be able to share on this very important topic of roots to riches and cultivating financial sense to agricultural sense. Yeah, so my topic this afternoon is one that is very dear to me in being able to carry out the work that I do with engaging young people, engaging not so young people, and engaging audiences all over the world to be able to cultivate that financial sense and to use agriculture as a vehicle, you know, to be able to create sustainability. Yeah, so I think Maritza said it all in that introduction. You know, being able to just share some of my accolades, you know. So thank you very much for that. And I look forward to sharing with you all who's here in the audience right now to be able to, you know, be in the moment and appreciate all which is all about to be said to you. Think about that business or that idea that you may have once wanted to start. And as I go through my presentation, just engulf yourself into it. Feel free to put some, remarks and questions in the chat, etc. I may not get to it until when I finish my presentation, but sometimes, a thought may leave you and you may forget. So feel free to put it in the chat immediately, and then we could definitely get to it when we get to that segment, right? So one second. I think it's working. Yeah. All right, great. So sorry about the little pause there. Slight technical difficulty. So we diving right into it. Well, I feel as though all what is on the screen right now have already been said about me. Just to highlight a couple of things that may not have been said. I serve on the board of directors at NAMDEFCO. I also serve on the board of directors at the Deltones Institute of Steel Drums and Music. I'm also on the board of directors at We Say Yes organization, and I recently founded and became the CEO of the Superior Tourism Development Agency, right? So a wide, diverse hats I absolutely wear, and I think it all goes back to the work that I do in one way or the other. So before we begin, all the accolades that you all heard, all the professional titles, deep down, I'm an agri-holic. And this is me in my dashing bush patch, looking all handsome, I must say. And, me in my dashing bush patch that's my happy place, all the travels I do, all the school I do, all the visits, etc. I am an agri-holic. And I want every person to be able to look as happy as me in the dashing bush patch, deep down in the soil. So, and I also promote swagriculture. So this is me growing food in my sneakers, in my yard, and being able to actually grow a pepper tree from a sneakers. Now, so I warming you all up here right now, and I want you all to get all the sparkly ideas coming out thus far to be able to absorb what comes next, right? And of course, when I posted this video, this picture online, it did a little slight viral because people were like, what? They could grow food in our sneakers, And of course, I tried to tag Nike in it. I do a lot of advocacy as well. So I tagged Nike and I was like, let's create a campaign. All your old sneakers from your factory, send it to us and we'll have a sneakers just farm at farm. They didn't take my honors yet, but who knows? You have to shoot your shot sometimes to know if you will actually achieve. So as you see, pepper is actually growing in this sneakers. Yeah. So that means that it could grow in anything, in any space possible. Once you have sunlight, you have some water. Of course, I have to put some holes below my sneakers so the water will drop drain off, but it could grow. So no land space, no excuse. So question, and of course, I have a little background as a teacher. I did a little bit of teaching back in the days. So my first question to the audience, and of course you all are not going to come on mic, you're just going to put, yes or no in the chat box, and later on I will get to see the answers. So my first question is, does money grow on trees? I'm giving about 5 seconds, and I hope that everyone is participating. Put a yes, put a no, put a maybe, put I don't know. But I want an answer from everybody. And I'm going to check in to find out if people are actually answering, because I cannot see the chat, but I want that engagement. So again, does money grow on trees? Are we getting responses? Yeah, so we're getting responses. I'm hearing some responses coming in, right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think that's enough time. Everybody should have answered, right? And I'm curious to know, I guess we might have some yes, and I assume we might have some no's. We have one no, all right, well, no wrong answer, no right answer just yet, right? And I don't know if we have any. So then if the majority of people said yes, well, maybe the answer is yes. But let's go through this presentation and let's see if the answer is truly yes. So our next question, why eat? And I want everybody as well. I have a hashtag why eat, and you've seen some pictures here. You've seen somebody with a lollipop. You've seen Popeye with spinach. And I don't know if you all remember Popeye the Sailor Man. You've seen a small child with some vegetables, and you've seen a child in a kitchen eating some broccoli. Quick, next question. This is a little bit of icebreaker. Post in the chat your hashtag to answer the question, why eat? Yeah? You all follow instructions? Post in the chat your answer to the hashtag, why eat? Yeah? Let me see if I can get some answers there. I'm giving you all about 5 seconds too. Let's pick hashtag. For those of you who don't know what a hashtag is, that's in case. It's a little number sign thingy, and it's one word that you would put there to be able to give that answer to why eat, right? So answers are coming in, make your money grow, nutrition to live, and you will grow and take care of your body and stay alive, and answers are coming in, lovely, right? So good. I love that people are actually engaged and people have to stay alive. Very, very important. No starvation, right? For nourishment and to live. Beautiful answers. And I love my paws are raising because it's like you all are setting the tone, to be able to absorb the rest of this session. And it's very important questions I'm asking here now to really to put your mind in the correct frame that you will absorb roots to riches, right? Remember the direction that we are going in this afternoon, right? So we can't have this conversation and we ain't talk about these tools that we have on the screen here right now, food security, right? We can't have this conversation, we don't talk about food security. So now, usually when I go to primary schools, right, when I go to elementary schools, and you ask them, I will realize that I teach by asking questions. I get people to think, right? So I would ask the young kids, what is food security? Have you ever heard that word, right? And of course, plenty of them will be like, guarding our food, protecting our food, making sure the police officers protect our food. And guess what? They are all correct. There's no wrong answer in answering this question of food security. Now, there's something very important. And again, question time again. On these slides right now, on the presentation, you're going to see 4 pictures. I think you're seeing a safe, right? Not a microwave, it's a safe, right? You're seeing a grocery shelf. You are seeing some farmers in a farm, and you are seeing a young child consuming what might be like couscous or something like that, right? I want you lovely people again to put in the chat which one of these pictures represents food security. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it all? Is it 1 and 2? Is it 2 and 3? Is it 3 and 4? Is it all of the above, right? I'm giving you all 5 seconds. Put in the chat what represents food security from what you understand to be food security. Yeah? So I'm giving you all 5 seconds. I see most people put in 3. I see in 3. Is it more than 3? Is it, you know, so I given you all 5 seconds. I've seen 4. I'm surprised nobody is saying all of the above, or 2 and 3 or 4, right? But don't let me hit the answer. I see somebody put all. As soon as I say I'm surprised nobody put in all, I see some people put all. All right. Right. So, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. So that question is closed. So I see 2 and 3. I see all again. Okay, good. Keep answering if you like, right? But I mean, let's continue the presentation and let's see what the answer really is for this question that I have asked, right? Now, the first very important part in answering this question that I really want you all to understand is it really food security or is it really food and nutrition security? What do I mean by that? And I might be seeing a typo there, so forgive me, but it happens, right? We are human. But is it food security or is it food and nutrition security? Ding dong, ding dong. Anybody can answer that? Is it food security or is it food and nutrition security? Right? I see in the chat blazing up there again. Food and nutrition security. Food and nutrition security. Very good. Very accurate. You know why? I'm going to give the short answer why. We could be food secure, right? We could be having food that full us, but not food that fulfill us. What do I mean? I'm sure every single person know what I mean, right? But just in case somebody doesn't understand what I mean, I will explain myself. So we could be having a lot of food. I don't want to call any brand name or anything like that. We could be having a lot of food that, yes, your belly full. Oh, man, full. But after consuming that food, have your body been really nourished? Are you really fulfilled? Do you get all the proper vitamins, protein, carbohydrates, and you name it from the food? There's a possibility that you don't, right? So this is where food and nutrition security is very important, right? Now, let's define food and nutrition security. Food and nutrition security is, having food at all times, growing food at all times, right? That is in a sustainable manner. We must remember that big S word, in a sustainable manner. What does a sustainable manner means? That the food you are growing today, the methods and the techniques you are using today doesn't affect you tomorrow, right? So here it is. There are some characteristics of food and nutrition security. And now you might be wondering, why and what and why is he coming with? I'll tell you why this slide is so important. Because each one of these slides is things that you all could actually tackle when you are developing your business, when you are growing your business, your agribusiness. Because here's why. The food must be safe. The food must be nutritional. The food must be accessible. It must be reliable. It must be trustworthy. It must be affordable. Of course, it must be sustainable. And of course, it must be local. Absolutely local. So that is when we hear, is Trinidad and Tobago food secure? To answer that question, when you go to the supermarket, how much of those food on the shelves was grown locally? How much of those foods was manufactured locally? How much of those foods was packaged locally? How much of those foods came from local farmers? And when you answer that question with data, with knowledge, you would realize that, sorry to break you all, but we are not food secure at all, right? Because we import a lot of food. And hear what my professor once told me. Our import bill in Trinidad is almost $4 billion US. That is a problem. But guess what? That problem is also a solution. That means that we have a $4 billion opportunity to be able to grow food ourselves. Yeah? I'm going back again. And I'm sticking a pin on this slide because trust me, this sets the tone for all that I'm about to say. Because again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 8 themes here that creates an opportunity in each one. So you could develop a business that ensuring foods are safe. You could develop an institution, an organization, a service to ensure that foods are nutritious. You could develop an idea to ensure that foods are accessible. We can be saying we're food secure and you live in Sandy Grande, but then you have to drive to Chatham the next end of Trinidad to get food. It's not accessible. You would literally, as I saying, God forbid, you would die from hunger to get to that food. You could create something that ensures that the food is reliable. How do we know that we could trust this food? You could make sure each foods are trustworthy. And of course, the food must be affordable. We cannot afford to pay $30 for one lettuce. I mean, I don't know if the time will come that we might end up paying that, but it has to be affordable based on the budget, based on your salary, and based on your income. And of course, the food must be sustainable. The practices that we use today, we must ensure that it doesn't affect us tomorrow. We can't be growing food, and we're using all the harmful pesticides and herbicides and all them sides. And then that runs off into the ocean, into the river, into the ponds. And then we have no fish. That don't make sense. That causes a problem. That's a harm. And again, the food must be local. My dear friends, this is Food and Nutrition Security 101. I'm sure you are taking your notes at home, taking your pictures, but ensure that after today, you are fully aware. And I wish I could have given homework, right? Ensure that after today, you will understand what is food and nutrition security. Safe, nutritious, accessible, reliable, trustworthy, affordable, sustainable, and local. So, again, not every slide I'll ask a question, but might be my final question for the first half of it, right? Put in the chat which one of these things you want to tackle. Which one of these characteristics of food security would you be tackling? Would you be coming up with an idea? Which one of them are you already doing? Are you already providing nutritious food? Are you thinking about coming up with an app to make sure foods are affordable? Are you thinking about coming up with some program to make sure the way farmers are growing food is sustainable and it's safe? So let me see. Come on, guys. Give me a quick answer there on which one of these characteristics would you all be tackling, via your business, your idea, or maybe it's now sparking an idea to, I never think about that. I could really tackle the accessibility. Yeah, come on, guys. Let me see. We're getting some answers. We're getting safe, affordable, nutrition. Yeah. I mean, keep the answers coming. And there's a reason why I'm telling you all to write this down. When you write something, it goes into your subconscious mind and you plant these seeds. And trust me, my life, I have seen it by writing down something and the answers, or later down in life, it comes back, not necessarily to haunt you, but it comes back to be of good support to you in developing your business and your project. Right. So we're getting some answers. Everybody give an answer. If it's all, no problem, but take it one step at a time, right? Now, agriculture, right? Wealth and sustainability. Now, we asked the question before, does money grow on trees? So from my slide here now, you're seeing a seedling, it looks like you're seeing $1, and then you're seeing 2, and then you're seeing 3, and then you're seeing 4. And as the plant grows into flowering, and as you add more and more NPK, who knows what NPK means? Somebody must know what NPK means. But I wouldn't ask you all that hard question and expect an answer. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, right? NPK. I'm sure you all remember that from chemistry, right? Chemistry days, right? And you remember that from your periodic table, bringing any bells here now? Yes, right? So we're talking about wealth and sustainability, right? Because we are talking about roots to riches, right? And I'm sure some of you who are here in the audience joining us this evening are wondering, I wonder what them really coming with and what they're talking about. So the further along a chain that you go is the more money you make. You must be wondering what chain we're talking about. Let's see. So the power of one pimento plant. Let's talk about the power of one pimento plant. And you all might be wondering the power of one pimento plant. What is this man talking about? Right? So a little bit of story time, right? So as you can see, the picture on my left, maybe your right, you see me hugging up a bag of pimento, or maybe 2 bags of pimento, maybe 3 bags of pimento. If I tell you all that all these bags of pimento came from one tree, you might say I'm lying. But no, Alpha Man coming to tell you all no lies. So imagine I paid 40 cents, and this is story time, 40 cents for the pimento tree in the background. And in the first harvest today, this was, if you will see, 2016. And I had to go back to my social media to crop this, to share this with you all. I have over $30 worth of pimento in my hand. That was back then. Because if you all go to the market and you all sell goods or go and buy, you know the price of pimento going up, right? Once taken care of properly, a pimento tree can last over 12 months. I ain't talking things that I don't know. I have grown these trees already, and once you give it that energy and that love and, you know, TLC and everything, trust me, your tree could last that long. Harvesting can happen every 3 weeks maximum. So 12 months equal 48 weeks. 48 weeks equals 16 harvesting times approximately. 16 harvesting at 30 per picking is $480. Yes, of course, this is kind of hypothetically speaking. Yes, we didn't include certain things like, you know, the cost of chemical, which we try to not use. We try to go as natural as possible. Of course, water and the labor. But this is a hypothetical situation to show you all the power of one pimento plant and to show you all as well that money do grow on trees. One tree equal 40 cents. That is what I pay for the seedling, which is equal to 480 annual revenue. 10 trees, $4, 4,800 annual revenue. 100 trees, $40, 48,000 annual revenue from that tree. Because we did say that one tree gives us approximately $480. And you're still asking why, fam? My dear friends, this is right there alone. So when people ask me the question, agriculture profitable? I am like, what do you mean if agriculture profitable? Breakfast, lunch, sometimes breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, after dinner, you're eating 4 or 5 times for the day, you're eating food. Where did that food come from? The farm. So, and that food, all that food that you ate came from the farm. So, the money that you pay for that food, the problem is, does it get back to the farmer? And that is where we have to make agriculture sense. Yeah. So, people take a little note from my power of my one pimento tree. But later on in the presentation, you'll be able to see how we took it a step further from the pimento that I'm holding and created something further on from called in the value chain to get more money. But we're not going to dive into it yet. We're going to get there. Food value chain. And my question here is, where do you fit? Where do you fit in the food value chain? And this again is early up in our presentation to be able to see where are you going to focus your energies in the food agricultural value chain. I think it's definitely self-explanatory where the entire chain. So you start with C, with the inputs. And the inputs are usually your planting material, your seeds, your pesticides, your fertilizers, etc. Right? Seedlings, etc. Excuse me. Then your farm. Of course, from the seed, from the nursery, has to go to the farm. Your farms, your ranchers, your fishermen, your farm workers, right? Yes, that will require maintenance, that will require farm labor to be able to, because I mean, let's be real, right? You don't plant a field of anything and just leave it. No, you have to work the land, you have to work the crops to be able to get. And as what you put into a crop is what you get out of it. Some of you may be asking if we should really talk to trees. I absolutely believe that you should talk to trees. I absolutely believe that trees have eyes and ears and, or I don't know what it is that they have, but they feel your energy as the farmer on the farm. Moving along, processing. Of course, this is us getting from the, let's look at it from the mud. I like to say the mud to the market. You know, I have these ponds that I have, so you'll bear with me, right? So how do we get there, right? From the input, so we go into farm, now we go to processing. In the processing stage, you would take your, what I want to use as an example, let's use cassava, right? We're going to take cassava from on the farm and we want to create cassava flour. Yeah, why not, right? So you're going to take it from the farm, get it into the factory, you're going to wash it, you're going to cut it up. Well, of course, you have to peel it, you know, wash it, cut it up, you know, boil it, and get it into the mill, to turn it into the flour, right? Obviously. So that's the processing. But while doing that, what is also at that processing stage? There's a word that starts with B, right? There's a word that starts with M as well. And those words are branding and marketing. Branding and marketing, right? Because you're not just going to take that cassava flour and just throw it in some random plastic bag and say, well, hey, Marcy, JTA, I want to put this on your shelf. No, you have to brand it. You have to market it. You have to call this cassava, I don't know, Kuva cassava flour. I'm just saying, whatever is your name, right? And then you go to distribution. And this is where distributors, importers, exporters would come in to be able to distribute your product, right? Now, could you do all of this yourself? Well, individually, one person can do it individually, but could your company or your business do this? I see people do it all the time, yeah? But they don't start there though. They tackle one at a time on the food value chain. And then they go to retail because you need to get it to the supermarkets, into the parlor, into the shop, into the grocery, right? And the end goal is to get it on the table and the plates of the consumers. So I always say as well, from the plant to the plate, yeah? Don't be late, right? Yeah, I don't think about that one. Anyhow, so, right, so we get input, farm, processing, distribution, retail, consumer. Now, of course, what you all get in here is real gems, eh? Suck it up, absorb it. I go back to the question, where do you fit in the agricultural value chain? I'm giving you all 5 seconds. Is it input? Is it farm, processing, distribution, retail, consumer? 5 seconds. Blaze up the chat. Tell me where you fit in the agricultural value chain. I'm giving you all 5 seconds. I ain't seeing no response. Come on, people, give me some response. Give me 5. I'm giving you 5 seconds. Where do you fit in the agricultural value chain? I'm seeing consumer. I like you. I there as well. Farm, farm, consumer. Where do you fit? Where do you fit? Where do you see yourself in the value chain? Maybe today, but maybe the answer should be, the question should really be, where do you want to see yourself? Because I'm sure everybody who is here, they are thinking about, they are considering, they are pondering on, how do I fit in this agricultural value chain and what business opportunities do I like? People would know I like smartphone, I like application, I like websites. I see in farm processing, consumer, input and farm. I want to see myself on the farm, beautiful, keep the answers coming on the farm, good, right? Now, again, no farm, no food, so at the end of the day, people will say, well, yes, I agree, and I also say it, you don't have to be a farmer to be in agriculture, because my dear friends, contrary to public opinion, what you all are seeing here today is that there's a food value chain, and guess what? Everybody is important on this value chain. You know that? I don't want to make no bacchanal and say, well, who more important than who? The farmer. But anyhow, everybody is important on this food value chain, because guess what? Without the seeds, without the soil, without the grow box, the hydroponics, the fertilizers, organic ones, we ain't promoting no inorganic thing at all, right? Without all of that, the farmer can't farm nothing, the farmer can't plant, the farmer can't set seeds, But without the farmer taking that food and grow it, and grow that sweet potato, and grow that Irish potato, which, I believe we should be doing sweet potato and, using that in our franchises here. We'll get to that, right? Without that, you can't get no fries. You understand? So, but you then have to go with, after the farmer do this too, there's something called shelf life. There's something called post-harvest technology. You need the processing facility to store your food and to process it. Because you can imagine if all that wheat, they're saying, right? All that wheat or cassava or whichever product, or pepper, for example, if we never had something named pepper sauce, what will become of all that pepper that farmer Brown picking? It will waste. So there had to be somebody making pepper sauce, and pepper mash, and pepper spray, and pepper powder, you name it. But here what? Somebody have to distribute it, right? Then somebody have to retail it, and of course you and I and us have to consume it. So I think we see somebody see this as an exporter. What you mean? We have to be able to take Trinidad and Tobago products and export it to the world. Very good. Yeah, so I'm just positioning you all here right now. Where do you see yourself in the value chain? Remember what you write down. And as we comment down and we boiling down to the root of the whole thing, right? We want to create riches, yeah, coming out of this whole webinar, yeah? So let's roll. How do you cultivate financial sense? How? How do we really grow, dollars and cents from on the farm? Hey, look, NPK popping up there. I didn't even know that was there. Cool. So you see NPK there, very important, because guess what? Your soil needs to be healthy. What do you mean? Somebody might say, what do you mean your soil needs to be healthy? Yes, your soil needs to be healthy. Soil health is absolutely important for the growth of your every single tree that you are planting. Yes, nowadays we have fancy thing, technology in agriculture, digital agriculture, where you don't need soil and people coasting on soil. I am a lover of soil. I'm a big advocate of the safe soil movement. But that don't mean that I also don't have demonstrations with hydroponics and stuff. And that don't mean that you all can get into that, but make sure it is safe. Right, but back to this cultivating financial sense, because we must be educated and get good agricultural sense, S-E-N-S-E. So being here now is where you'll be able to see like, that is important. If you realize this picture here, you're seeing water, sun, NPK, and there's some on the bottom there, you're seeing like some little bugs. You're seeing like some little, I don't know, whatever it is, right? But I think that's supposed to represent the earthworms and them. That is absolutely important to break down the soil. And that is absolutely important for the growth of your crop, of your farm as well, yeah? So, idea generation. Every single person who is here this afternoon definitely have ideas. You have ideas that is haunting you. You have ideas that keep you up at night. You have ideas that while you're in the bathroom, it pop up while you're taking a shower, something come in your head. How do you take that idea and really transform it? And of course, this could go for the agricultural sector, any sector, obviously, right? But it's important that you find the I in your idea and the you in your uniqueness. What do I mean? You want to say, where is guy coming out from with these things? How do you find the I in your idea and the you in your uniqueness from you being your authentic self? From you being 100, 1000% Trinbagonian. I don't know if we have people joining us from wherever else in the world or the islands or anything, but you being as authentic as yourself and coming up with this idea and birthing it out of you based on some level of problem or based on some level of issue that you are seeing. But we'll dive a little more into that. Now, let's take a moment and look at some people may have different ideas regarding small-scale farming. Begin with manageable plots, yeah? Grow high demand or specialty crops. Sell at your local markets. Yes, my point with putting this is because in everything that you do, you start small. You start manageable, right? Don't bite off too much and make it true. Now, some people will always come to me and say, hey, I have 20 acres of land. Never do agriculture before, but I want to farm the land. You know what will be my advice? Take one in those acres of land and start with that. Clear that down and start growing and see if you can manage that 1 acre. And then you expand, right, into small scale farming to make sure that they can manage it. Because a lot of times, it's better to lose small than to lose big. You make an investment into this 20 acres and then you're not sure what you're doing, and the amount of labor, chemicals you buy for that, and then you lose, it's hard. It's hard to recover from something like that. So start very small. Of course, we have urban farming for those people with limited spaces, vertical gardening options, rooftop options, hydroponics, and aquaponics options as well to be able to get you started. Now, this is us talking about, remember the food value chain? This is us talking about the second component with the farming aspect of actually growing your own food. And of course, one of my pictures earlier, it showed you growing food in a sneakers. I think I have one coming up somewhere, growing food in a Crixton. And these are ideas that spark your interest to be able to get you farmed up, right? Niche markets, right? Focus on specialty crops or on exotic varieties, cater to high value market segments. I feel like if the fruit that we have there is dragon fruit, it looks very good. I ain't no fan of it, you know what I mean? Because it tastes, yes, it just tastes, I can't describe it. But it fetch a high price on the market. It fetch a very high price on the market. So why not? And of course, respect to all my dragon fruit farmer friends. I love you all. I will support you all. But it's not something that I am very much take. But that don't let my personal thing affect you, right? So, but I'm using this as an example because it's a very exotic fruit. And who knows? There are other exotic fruits that people haven't started to grow here that you could be the one to pioneer it. Sometimes people will say, but that can't grow in Trinidad, this can't grow in Trinidad. I think I see strawberry growing in Trinidad the other day. I see grapes growing in Tobago the other day. So these things are possible, right? So why not you be the one to be able to do this, right? Agro-tourism or agri-tourism, farm stays and experiences, educational tours and workshops, engage with tourists and locals. Yeah, I recently came back from a tourism conference in Grenada, right? And of course, we are praying for Grenada and all our Caribbean countries who are greatly affected by the hurricane and by the storm and stuff. But I came back from Grenada a while ago, and I went on this amazing tour at these folks. So like they have at their home, the backyard is the farm. So they have a cocoa farm. And it was the most amazing thing. And I just have to quickly share this to show you how people create money and revenue from things that they have. And sometimes you think, wait, I don't have nothing. When I got there, they gave us a coconut, a dry coconut bowl, sorry, a calabash bowl, sorry, right? A calabash bowl, some people drinking it and some people have it in a coconut husk, right? And they had all these different like bush and peels and from orange peel and this flower and that flower to be able to make tea. And of course, there were a lot of foreign people on the tour from Europe and North America and stuff. And they were blown away with the fact of they are getting this experience in the Caribbean. To us, they'll be like, okay, why are we doing that? But when you create an experience and if people pay for it, and the amount of tips that they got that day, I think they actually got like a month's salary. You understand? From just that one day. And that is agritourism, of course, bringing foreign revenue to your farm and stuff and engaging with tourists and creating a story. Then we went around, they had dancers, and I'm talking about like the simplest village, but guess what? The wealthiest village. But things that you take for granted. And this is exactly, I might be sharing a little bit about it. I mentioned about the recently founded the Superior Tourism Development Agency. And it's to create experiences as such, to bring people from all over the world to Superior. Well, that is where I'm from. I don't have anybody from Superior on the chat, maybe a little bias, give me a little emoji if you're from Superior, but I love everybody, yeah? Don't feel jealous, right? So, and value-added products, we'll be talking about that all period. So far, the agro-processing, the jams, the sauces, the dry goods, and many other things could be known as value-added products. Farm-to-table initiatives, direct sales to restaurants and consumers, subscription produce boxes, promoting fresh local products. And all these are ideas that I am planting, and you now have to go and water it to be able to be like, I feel like you do this. I feel like you do that. I feel like you do all of them. I know some people are very ambitious, no problem. I'm one of those, but but take it one step at a time. So farm to table initiatives are very, very, very brilliant stuff. If you create your farm and imagine, what money people will pay to come to your farm where you literally just harvested food, and they get a whole line of fresh, now harvested food to have lunch, to have dinner, to have brunch. People pay money for that, yeah? So, agri-technology and innovation, precision farming, soil and crop monitoring, adopting agri-tech solutions to increase efficiency and yield. And these are technologies that people come up with in order to really solve problems in a digital way. So people who are into tech, trust me, and we are, let's show this out there as well, we are lacking a lot of technology-oriented digital solutions in the Caribbean, unfortunately. So this is your chance. If you are into that tech space, trust me, you will not go wrong if you use that tech and you put it into agriculture. I was recently contacted by an organization. There's a digital agricultural week coming up in Costa Rica, and we are struggling to get digital tech agripreneurs, to be able to attend this conference in Costa Rica. It's Latin America and the Caribbean, but the Caribbean always struggles. So again, my dear friends, where there's a problem, there's an opportunity. So people who are into technology, innovation, this could be your thing. You could branch off into this whole, how could I take drones and put fertilizer in it and send it up to spray? But again, proper fertilizer. I saw on Facebook there's recently a company in Jamaica, they have this big drone. Farmers, they are putting like their pesticide and stuff in it, and then they set it up to kind of spray the entire field. Well, that did not go, the video didn't go good for them because they got a lashback based on, people asking like, how safe is it? And then what are you spraying? And, you just go up into the air and you spray any water streams and this and that. So again, being very sustainable, it comes back down to that as well, even with the technology that you think you have to use, yeah? So let's talk a little bit now about education and training, right? And this is like literally a few examples of institutions right here in Trinidad and Tobago, that you could get educated, via whether maybe certificates, diplomas, degrees, masters, PhD, you name it, right? Of course, UTT, which is also, known as ECIAF, right? And the University of the West Indies, UE. I am a proud graduate of UE, Faculty of Agriculture, and even COSTAT have some agri programs as well. So, and of course, there are many more, and there are many more short courses, etc. But I'm plugging this in so that you all will create agricultural sense, education, and training, to be able to really further your activities in agriculture. I always say, when people say, agriculture profitable, I'll be like, of course, the answer is yes. However, you must get educated, you must be trained, you must be well organized with your thoughts to be able to really make it and compete with the rest of the world, yeah? Government programs. So, we're talking about some of you, I hope that some of you know about the YAP program, the Youth Agricultural Homestead Program, that is offered by the MyDNS, where you get up to $20,000 funding, a year training and a year internship. And guess what? You get a homestead, you actually get 2 acres of land and a homestead to be able to continue agricultural activity. Now, the fortunate or unfortunate thing is, I'm not sure who is in the audience and the age groups, but it's for folks 35 and under. So folks who's there that's a little bit older than 35, don't know if there's anything for you, but this one is for the folks that are under 35 and under, yeah? So there's the YAP, there's the Youth Agriculture project as well, another program by the Ministry of Youth and Sport and Development, Ministry of Youth and Ministry of MYD, Ministry of Youth Development National Service, yeah. And then there's also the Youth Agricultural Shade House project as well too, another one by the MyDNS, right? So funding and startup and operational costs. Before I do that, I'm going to take a sip of water. Yeah, I'm going to take a sip of water. So let's talk a little bit about funding and startup of your operational costs, right? So funding options in starting your agribusiness or your agri project, of course, yeah, there's grants, there's loans, there's investment opportunities, right? Yeah, of course, there's grants. There's many grants that the government give out. Of course, a lot of the banks, commercial banks, agricultural development bank, they offer a variety of loans. Of course, there's criteria, which of course, we don't have the time to go detail into all of it today. But then, and of course, there's investment opportunities as well. So I mentioned before the YAP program, $20,000 grant for those who successfully complete it. There's the agro incentive grant, and this one for those who's a little bit above 35 in the audience, 100,000 TT dollars to help you further your agri-business. Shing shing. You know how much you could do with 100,000 TT, especially if you're just starting up. Yeah. So the agro incentive grant, it is via the Ministry of Agriculture. You actually could go into ADB, Agricultural Development Bank, wherever you reside, go to your nearest ADB. They will have the forms there. You fill it out. Then, of course, you could go through all of the criteria and stuff, and then you leave it in a box at the ADB. Yeah. So opportunities, my dear friend. And of course, for those who get their farmer's badge based on having their land tenure, whether maybe you have land, you have access to land, and you have permission to use it, and you get a farmer's badge, and you have a lot of subsidies as well too. So isn't the sector exciting? Now, some of you may be saying, this man come here to tell me all the good things today, and he ain't talking about the problems, he ain't talking about the issues. There are issues, my dear friends, in everything that you do. You know, in every sector, there are issues. But I think that some of them could be definitely maneuvered with the right education, the right networks, the right lobbying. Of course, there's loans, credit facilities, the Agricultural Development Bank, of course, CLICO, credit union. For those of you all are members, you could obviously talk to your rep to find out more about that, etc. And I know, we might have some further discussions on that, on being able to get loans to start your agribusiness enterprise or to further develop your agribusiness enterprise. But my dear friends, start. Start is very, very, very important. Where do you start? How do you start? Again, idea generation, yeah? And getting started, solidifying your business idea. What are you passionate about? What problem are you going to solve? And what is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of that idea? And there's a missing P that we have to connect all of this to. If anybody can tell me what's that missing P, boy, that might be a hard one. But I will still ask to give it a shot. What is that missing P that I don't have up on the screen just yet? Passion, problem, purpose. And what is that P that we are missing? I hear profit, I hear promotion, I hear people, planting, price, productivity, purpose. The purpose there already. So give me another P. It's now those P's not wrong, to be very honest, but it's just not the P that I have. Progress. All right. So passion. You must be passionate about something, yeah. And that passion, if you think about things that you are passionate about, it's sometimes usually linked to a problem, yeah. Because you have a problem with how to just litter down and put a spin there, boy. But you're passionate about protecting the environment, and then linked to your purpose, your why. Like, why are you passionate about that? Because I feel like, so my mission on this earth is to do this, But then that next P, place, I ain't feel nobody put it there as yet, but so let me go into it, is being able to protect the planet. Yeah? That planet, that mother nature, that mother earth, being able to link your passion, purpose to the planet is where you now will be connected to our why, WHY. And as Simon Sinek always says, one of my virtual mentors, always begin with why. And that why connects you to the planet. Yeah? So, my dear friends, I'm going back a little bit, solidifying your business idea in the agribusiness industry. And this now could go link back to one of our earlier slides on the value chain. It can link back to one of our earlier slides on all those different things about food security. Relatable, nutritious, safe, accessible, affordable, sustainable, local. Which one I miss? Who paying attention? If you miss one, put it in the chat. Yeah? So, planet, my dear friends. Connected. Because here's what now. You see your idea? Your idea have to be bigger than you. And that, as I always say, if your idea is scary, is it big enough? Yeah. It must be scary. It must be like, no, it's a big idea, but here what? You just have to break it into pieces to get to that big overall idea. Yeah, but it must be scary because it must be something, your grand idea can be something that you could just walk down the road and solve. Nah, then the idea not big enough. Then maybe you're not getting to the root of the problem. So as I mentioned, roots are the problem, but we are talking about roots to riches. So the root of the problem, my dear friends, think about this. We'll often say, way boy, I want to use Port of Spain because I don't want Port of stuff. Not the Port of Spain right now because I'm in Port of Spain. But my neighborhood flooding, right? And you'll say, way boy, them people littering, But my dear friends, is that the root of the idea? That's not the root of the idea. The root of the idea is why people get into why is people literate? Are they not self-aware? They're not self-conscious. They're not environmentally aware. What is wrong with these people that they would just flick a KFC box out the window, which I normally see is like, this is craziness, right? So getting to the root of the idea of your problem is something that you have to dig deep into the roots, into the foundation to get that problem. So, of course, so we start with ideation, register your agribusiness. Why register your business? Of course, legal compliance, eligibility for grants and loans, trust and credibility enhances trust with customers and partners. You can't be going to the bank, for this business that you have, or the credit union, or I don't know, to partner with some entity, and then, well, me already have a business, I just have a little idea. No, you have to register that business, put it on paper. When you put on paper, people take you serious. If you don't take yourself serious, who's going to take you serious, my dear friends? Right? So you have to register your business. Of course, that's our next presentation myself. Go to Ministry of Legal Affairs and go through all the paperwork. If you want to be a limited liability, a sole trader, NGO, a non-profit, there's people there to help with all of that. Yeah. Opening a business bank account. We're talking about money here. So I can be going for, a big time money for my project or my program, and then you do have a business bank account. They won't take you serious. Because you have to be able to separate personal and business finances for professionalism. You have to be able to facilitate better management of your cash flow. You can get money for your business, it's in your bank account, and then you're using that money to buy your lunch on a daily basis. No, that's conflicting a lot of things there, you understand? And people won't trust you. Yeah. So these are some of the little tips. You have to market your agribusiness, right? Why marketing matters? You have to reach your audience, connect with potential customers, build a brand awareness, and increase sales. Now, hear this, reach your audience. A lot of times, I just remember the buff that I got from my beloved Dr. Seeley at my university days at UWI. He said that is everybody your audience? Who is your target market? Somebody come up with an idea. Well, I'm going to sell to everybody. I remember telling him that, and yes, me after telling him that, I will never say that again. You cannot sell to everybody. You have to narrow down your audience to be able to say, you see this product that I'm selling here? I'm going to go string beans. String beans is high in insulin. I'm going to target my product to folks who are diabetic. And guess what? They might feel like, but who diabetic? The amount of people that is diabetic, and when you put out your markets, when you put out your marketing, you will automatically realize that these people are coming to you to be able to help them with their diabetes. Are you is a soursop farmer, and well, a lot of people believe that soursop is good for cancer patients, the soursop and the leaf and stuff. And when you put out that this product that I have created or this fruit that I have is for cancer patients, the amount of people you would see that would come. Now, there would be other people as well, but your main target, you have to narrow in that audience. Every time you say you sell to everybody, guess what? You end up selling to nobody. I have learned that lesson so many years ago, and I'm so happy to share it with you all today. Build brand awareness, and of course, this must increase sales. And some of you might know about the 5 P's for the marketing mix: the price, place, promotion, productivity, people. Yeah, there's a whole set of P's, And there's ease as well. I've been informed now, right? You know, I know things have forever been added to the plates. Right? So yeah, so these are some of the things for your marketing mix as you develop and you really craft your product, right? So boy, we reached a little meat of the matter here now, where I saw it fit to do a case study. And no bias or anything, but I'm interested in doing a case study on WHYFARM. So far, we're talking roots to riches, we're talking agricultural value chain, we're talking about ideation, we're talking about taking a problem that we see, we solve that problem via what you are passionate about. You solve that problem via what you care about the most to be able to protect the planet. And that is your why. So let's go and look a little bit into WHYFARM as a case study. What is the problem that we saw, right? Well, again, just to remind you all, I am the founder of WHYFARM. We are in the year 2024, farmers are aging. So this is, stick with me, this is a problem that I'm going to identify. By the way, maybe anybody want to take a break or we just continue? I think we're going to continue. Yeah, let me continue. Yeah, it's sweet. Right, so there we go. We're in the year 2024. Farmers are 55 years and increasing, which we want to solve that. And I think it might be coming down these days. And those of you who are in the chat, I hope you all are here, younger farmers, to be able to help us with that. By the year 2050, unfortunately, these farmers will be deceased, right? Our 30-year-old farmers, our young professionals, by the year 2050, they will be retired. I hope to be retired. I'm 37, you know, so 2050, I want to be just chilling, you know. 10-year-olds today, in 2024, they are the young professionals by the year 2050. But what are they thinking about? And you see, there's a big question up there. Who will feed 9 billion people by the year 2050? And as a matter of fact, that count might be 10 billion today because, oh boy, the population is growing, right? So, again, this is a case study. This is a problem. And I'm going to show you all how we solve this problem. Ideation process going on here in real life. This is something what happened in real. What careers are these 10-year-olds thinking about? Remember, we said that the 10-year-olds will be the young professionals by the year 2050. So the 10-year-olds today would be that 30-something-year-old by the year 2050. Steady decline in youth in agriculture. If you ask any 10-year-old, your sibling, your cousin, your child, what they're thinking about being, 1 out of 500 would say farmer. And I know this because I go to schools all the time. You hear lawyer, engineer, doctor, police, scientist, pilot. You hear TikToker these days. You hear YouTuber. You know, you're hearing these things these days, but you rarely hear farmers. So what did WHYFARM do? We said we must make agriculture agriculture to ensure that young people, you know, take up the mantle and at least get agriculture on their mind. Let's quickly give a real quick story. So one school we went in there, for career day, no one, you know, these kids dress up as their, you know, police and fire and engineer and doctor and nurse. And interesting enough, there's a lot of police officers. I think kids love to become police officers, at least at that age, right? So I say to them, how come nobody here dressed up as a farmer? You know, like when you all grow up, what are they going to eat? You know, and this one child said to me, you know, sir, you know, I was going and dressed up as a farmer. And I tell my friends that yesterday. And you know what to do? The friends laughed at her. And this is a standard Standard 4 class. The friends laughed at her. Of course, you know, they didn't hear the end of that. And of course, I have to use reverse psychology to be able to win them back. And when I was finished with them, because this is my God-given talent, when I was finished with them, all who had on police clothes, fire clothes, nurse clothes, teacher clothes, if I had farmer suits selling right there, and then every man jack will get the farmer clothes and pay it out. But that is what I convinced them how important, and never in their life again would they laugh if a friend or colleague say they want to become a farmer. I say, hey, this young lady will feed all of you. She will be the queen of the land. And guess what? He or she who feeds you controls you. I'm going to say it again. He who feeds you controls you. When you don't have your own food, you on your knees begging for an end of a chicken bone scrapper. You begging for the end of the rice to be able to This is food, people. I always go to conferences. We're talking about food and whatnot. And big professional people, you know, in jacket and tie, and even millionaires and whatnot. Sometimes they go over in a session and it's lunchtime. People almost want to fight to get to the lunch because this is food. Yeah? So they will never laugh at her again. And of course, this stigma still has to be broken. So, what did WHYFARM do to be able to make it agriculture, agricultural, educational, entertainment? Ideation, and people are going through the process with you all here right now as a case study to understand how you could do it, what you could do. And my idea, I mean, is there really a new idea under the sun? Not necessarily. Sometimes there's a tweak something. Something is happening in the world already one way or the other. So we use comic books, coloring book stories, poetry, spoken word, videos to be able to promote agriculture. But here it is, stumble upon something. And this is where information, inspiration comes in. The story of Captain Planet. Who remembers the story of Captain Planet? I don't know what is the age of all people on who's there right now, but who remembers Captain Planet? And if you remember Captain Planet, then you had to sing along this song with me. Captain Planet, he's a hero. He's gonna bring pollution down to zero. What do you mean? I have one company here, Maritza, singing it with them. Yes, you must remember this story. This was taken off of TV when I was probably about 10 years. You know, the good things just come off of TV. I don't know why. But this came off of TV when we were 10 years. Somebody said, me, yeah, Captain Planet, right? So we have some company there. Good. So, but I realized that when I looked at the episode, and up to this day, I was 10 years looking at it. This is what, 27 years later. I will not I will not flick a chewing gum out the car. I will not take a cork and just say, let me just throw that. Earth, fire, wind, water, the Planeteers. They taught us that. They taught me that. And because of the cartoon. So here's what. I realized that there must be an adventure to encourage youth in agriculture, starting with a main character who's branded as the world's most powerful food provider. We created, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Agriman Adventures. We created the Agriman Adventures, the world's first and only food and nutrition security superheroes, you know? Yes, right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Right here, my dear friends, yeah? An Agriman would say this, boys and girls, I'm the Agriman. To feed the world is my master plan. If you plant one tree, you can eat for free. This will guarantee food security. From field to farm, let's let it sprout. Soon we'll see an end to drought. Once we all grow what we need, soon the whole world we can feed. Man, Agri-man. I won't sing no more because we don't know read the come, right? But Agri-man is growing future nourishers from the ground up. Plant one tree, eat for free. Zero wastage. Agri-man would tell the children to be rice responsible. Do not waste one grain of rice. He will tell them to be courageous. I don't know what that would mean. Healthy food and to eat local food. But we're moving on. Of course, we have comic books, all different kind of stories that would engage and educate. Stories on soil, on water, nutrition, technology, you name it. You know, we create stories and digital content to be able to promote agriculture and get children. We're still talking about that 10-year-old child that will be the future nourisher of the year 2050. So we have to be able to embed that education in him. People are talking about the idea here now, are talking about that problem, and look at the idea and the solution. Of course, we will have our Agriman dress up in a costume, come on, you know, and go around. You know, only Superman and Batman and Spider-Man and all these guys could be in the costumes and teaching kids stuff. I mean, and after all, who's the most powerful superhero of them all? Let me see in the chat who is the most powerful superhero. I'm giving them 5 seconds. Who is the most powerful superhero? Please blaze up the chats and let me see who is the of course. I only seen one Agriman. Come on, come, who's that Captain Planet person? If you have to put them on the webinar. Who is the most powerful superhero of them all? If Spider-Man, Batman, Iron Man, Superman, where they getting the food from? How Superman just get you know, is dashing Superman how to eat to get strong, so, you know, yes, you know, so, of course, my dear friends, the story is being told of an adventure that encourages youth in agriculture. Of course, this, you know, WHYFARM, you know, of course, we could not just, in creating the whole content of Agriman, the comics and stuff, we have to now create this into an organization that is sustainable. So we have programs teaching children, teaching youth, trainings, consultancies, you name it. We are registered, obviously, as a non-profit organization here in Trinidad and Tobago. We are growing fruitier nourishers. So we have, this is sort of like all of the value chain, comic books, Teenage Agripreneur Bootcamp, the Ampetum, the Agripreneur Mastermind Program, master classes are rushing here now because I want to get all your questions. You know, we have our input, we have our own WHYFARM value chain. So as you see the input here, the training, the education, we are located in Superior on a farm where we have a lot of tours. We have a lot of students coming down every single day. We have some tour. We have processing facility because we supply supermarkets with different products and all our produce from our farm. We network with other farmers, young farmers in particular, no offense to the not so young farmers, and to get their produce to be able to get it on the shelf, we create our own distribution network, we have our retail network, and then of course we take it to the consumer as well. WHYFARM value chain. Now, before I continue, I might talk about the value chain and finding your space. Did we start with all of this? Of course not. Did we start with doing this? Of course not. We simply started with education, input. I mean, we had the farm, yes, but at that point of starting, it wasn't even developed for tours and whatnot. All those things came into play over the years and with support from different entities, yeah? So, my dear friends, this is after 9 years. Next year, we'll make it our 10th year anniversary. Putting in the work, we could be able to say WHYFARM value chain. And of course, community trainings and consultancies, we partner with different companies, organizations, we do different agriculture kids school tours, you know, go to schools all over Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean and the world, literally, you know, when the day come, you can find me somewhere in Australia, you can find me in South Korea, you can find me anywhere in the world promoting agriculture. Agriculture Kids Club, we have that happening. We have a camp coming up very soon, you know, where we will be partnering with different entities and different kids from the area in and around Superior to be able to have the Agriculture Kids Camp. Very, very exciting initiative. The Agripreneur Mastermind Program, where young people get a chance to win cash prizes to be able to develop and grow their agribusiness idea. Yeah, all this is what we do. Sometimes I don't wonder, like, whoa, how this happened, you know? But we have a lot of impact and reach. You know, you could browse it here, you could go on our website and see more as well too. A lot of partners and features for sure to be able to get that story, or they're featured in many media, many different partners who work with us to be able to, you know, achieve our goals, right? These are some of our comic books. And yes, we do supply massy stores, you know, and of course it's creating the opportunity. I mean, come on, we have an Agriman, you know, a food and nutrition security superhero. Agriman must have a product or products, you know. So then we was like, we want kids to be able to consume more vegetables. Could we brand a vegetable pack Agriman and get kids to eat it? Of course we could. So when Agriman goes to school and Agriman tell them to be healthy and be responsible and don't waste their food and be and take more nutrition, when they go to the supermarket and they see the Agriman Carlo pack, don't you think the kids will be like, Mommy, Daddy, Agriman, I want to get an Agriman Carlo pack? Of course, and they naturally eat it, you know, and that literally happens all the time. So what happened afterwards was that we had to find a way to create a marketing and distribution company. So I founded this as well in my spare time, agriculture marketing and distribution, where we would market, produce products, get it on the grocery shelves, regionally, internationally, you know, to be able to support local and be able to get people products out there. Yeah. One such product is candy spices pimento powder. Earlier on, I mentioned taking the pimento to our next level. Well, this is our next level. We basically dehydrate the pimento, we grind it, and we bottle it. We recently changed the package to something as cute as this, so you can kind of shake it in your pot. It's real good. It's real, really, really, really high flavor. Yeah. Value chain. The further up the value chain you go, the more money you make. And I'm going to pause this for 1 second to take a sip of water, but to also have you all thinking about this food value chain. The further down the value chain you go, the more money you make. You must be wondering, huh? How is that? From the crop to the shop. If I just decided to sell my dashing bush by itself, as opposed to harvest the dashing bush, cut up the dashing bush, package the dashing bush in a carlo pack, and obviously I receive more value, also food for convenience. Who remember when they started peel garlic? And they started peel garlic, and people was like, hey, people real lazy boy, them peeling garlic and they're selling that. And now them things is big sellers on the supermarket store. Once you give somebody something for convenience, trust me, yeah, you're gonna have the haters, but guess what? You're gonna have the lovers as well, and that's your customers who will go and buy it. Cut up Kalu, dashing bush, simply throw this in your pot, voila. From the crop to the shop, from the bean to the bar. This is your boy harvesting cocoa, on my farm. And of course, yeah, we decided to make a chocolate bar. We have a 60 and a 70% chocolate bar. And being from Separia, that's going to give a little bit of marketing thing here as well to Marketing 101. We decided to, how do we make our bar different? We said, let's name our bar after an icon from our community of Separia. And we could market that bar with a little bit of history and heritage of the person who is the iconic figure from Separia. And every year or every other year, we choose a different icon and we choose a different flavor for our chocolates. Isn't that brilliant? The name of our company, again, is called Separi Chocolate. Yeah, and it's chocolate. Young people talk like lit, right? So that's the name of our company for our chocolate. And we had a chocolate naming competition. All of we just take things serious, we decided to say, as the community, all have come up with a name for what a chocolate bar should be before this, obviously, right? And the best name was Daisy Darling. How beautiful and cute is that? Of course, after our beloved Daisy Bose, parent queen of the world, from where? Separia. As some just say, but really Separia. Yeah. So, Daisy Darling, of course, on the package, you see a little quattro. I think in the back of a little silhouette of Daisy, how she looked, and a little history of her. So the children in primary school and whatnot who will know who Daisy is, when they buy Daisy Darling chocolate, they could read that and be like, hey, that Daisy was a boy, and they could get knowledge from the bean to the bar. Let me see. Up next is from the seed to the snack, right? This, I must say, this product is not mine, right? I saw this product online and I saw it in our airport when I was traveling as well. They created a product from okra and they call it Crunchy Lady Fingers Okra Chips. I don't know how it tastes, right? We are coming to talk about the taste. However, what I do know, a day I'm on the farm, I'm giving you all a little trade secret thing here. And we're on the farm and nothing really in season, but but we are okra. And my father decided to say, let me make some chow. I said, chow from what? He said, let me make some chow. Bring some okra, cut it up, have a little bowl, put your salt, your shadow benny, your pepper, everything from on the farm. And here now, everybody on the farm was like, oh, what is man talking about? When you did that, I don't want raw okra, and you did that in that chow sauce. Up to this day, I am telling you, it's the best chow I ever tasted. Up to this day. So, my dear friends, when your mind could dream it and imagine it, sometimes it's the things that, we like to say, somebody come with that idea and you'll be like, but nobody here doing that. But we never do that before. But guess what? Everything was once where somebody was the first person to do it. Take that in your pipe and smoke it. So think about after today, what could be that idea that nobody never think about, nobody never do, and maybe I could do it. From the dashing roots to riches. And a friend or a colleague of mine from Tobago has this dashing cereal. And I was like, wait, how do I never think about that before? Again, you understand? Dashing cereal, like why all of our cereal is things that don't really grow here. I mean, all the cornflakes and things, I don't really corn from Trinidad. You understand? So why we can have all these different dashing Edos, yam, cereal? You know why? Because you, and you do it as yet. I mean, this person did dashing, and of course, they're seeing planting flour, cassava flour, sweet potato flour. From the roots, you know, for remember dashing and all these things is roots, to riches. I'm bringing a clear example here for you all. So you can't say I ain't give you some little, you know, to run along and take it and create something. Yeah. Now, and then quickly, I must mention, you know, fellow partners and friends of ours, the market movers, online marketing opportunities. Yeah. They were the first online marketing store in Trinidad and Tobago to be able to sell fresh produce online. And when they started, people asked them, they're mad. People asked them, what is that all down? Why you go sell a lettuce online? Why you go sell and bring it to the doorstep? And now market movers have, I can't remember the number, but they have quite a large customer base across Trinidad and Tobago, and they are still branded as the Caribbean's first online marketing fresh produce company. They have since branched off as well, or added other value, such as the market movers designs. So that's going to plug that in immediately. For those who have products, for those who are, you know, interested in branding and packaging and stuff, the market movers designs would actually be able to help you come up with the right branding for your product, the barcode, the design, the logo, all of that. And they would help you take it from that whole concept of commercialization in terms of your branding, right? So check out Market Movers Design. And then they also have Farm and Function. Farm and Function is the first, and let's share ideas, first frozen fruit company in the Caribbean, right here from Trinidad. Farm and Function. They are also a sister company of the Market Movers. Yes, people, you know, these are opportunities, these are ideas, these are things that you all could take and be like, wait, but I'm sure I have to be sparking something in you all this evening here to be able to start wondering, well, what I could do, how I could do it, how I could add value. And well, you know, we in COVID, you know, we people in the community side that Alpha Wave or elderly people, they don't want to come out to the market, what that. So we created, because market movers don't come down Superior. So we created Dashin, your doorstep markets. Yeah, like Dashin. You know, like the Dashin. Yeah, all I get to that, yeah. Dashin your doorstep market. So we, you know, kind of have a whole list of things, and you can create the essential park, your fruit park, your fully loaded, you know, and we would basically they order it and we deliver it to the doorstep. And that happens, of course, free delivery in and around Superior. Ideas. If you're from DB, maybe you could do the same thing. If you're from Caranage, maybe you could do the same thing. You know, nobody, you know, it's collaboration, not competition. And if you walk into Market Movers, then they will tell you, boy, this is how we started. This is what we do. But they teach all the time, just like me, and we share knowledge. Yeah? So opportunities are there, my dear friends. Winding down. I am winding down. Youth, open up the horizon. I know we don't only have youth here, but I know everybody's still young at heart. Yes. So through Vision. What kind of words Alpha making up here today to confuse me? I know you must be saying that, but don't be fooled. Imagination and vision. Yeah? You see that wild imagination that you have? Turn it into a rightly guided vision to be able to achieve your dreams. Create opportunity. What are you talking about there? What kind of mad word is this? Creating the opportunity, my dear friends. The opportunity to ever come and sit down and meet you. You know, as I say, if the opportunity to come knocking on your door, what do? You build that door and you break it down. You build the door and break it down yourself. And many of you, you choose to be here today to be able to create the opportunity. If you saw this webinar and be like, You have time with that. You have something better to do, whatever. No, you decide to come here and live in the moment to create the opportunity. I'm sure you're taking notes, you're taking screenshots, and you're just absorbing it. Okay, this next one, innopreneurship. Innopreneurship, what are you talking about? Innovation and entrepreneurship. Sometimes we have innovative ideas, innovative products in our back pocket, innovative ideas in our labs or on our research paper in university, innovative things. But we don't get entrepreneurial about it. So guess what? It remains downstairs in the storeroom. The idea remains in your brain. The idea in your back pocket on a piece of paper somewhere. Entrepreneurship, you cannot just be innovative, you also have to be entrepreneurial about it. Creating that business, creating that value. How do I get a revenue stream? How do I offer it to society? You can't just be saying it. But no, I can't just say, well, hey, I have the idea for this superhero character, boy. You know? Hey, boy, I got to missing something like that. No, I had to take a partner. This is 2015, eh? Take one of my partner. I'm giving you all a real example here now. Take a partner of mine and say, hey, use that kind of character. I'm going to give you a costume to put on and use Agriman from today. We go on in Tobago, World Food Day, to launch Agriman. Agriman change the clothes in a bamboo patch down in Dwight York Stadium. Yeah? And then some CPA brokers was there. They started to laugh at him and say, who you is, boy? He's training Ninja Turtle. He tell them the other day, he nearly changed his clothes and went back to the airport to leave man, go back. This is when we started, you know? Yeah? And if he didn't take it up and I didn't say, boy, you put on that costume. When he went out into the booths, all the children from Tobago who were there, you know, it's like the like a fair, the World Food Day celebration, expo. Children loved Agriman. Loved him. I took it out of my mind, my brain, and we put it into real life. And 9 years later, global award-winning company, right? 9 years later, so many accolades, so many awards for this idea that came out of my mind to bring into reality. My dear friends, the opportunity is there. Use your imagination, have the right vision, create the opportunity. Don't just be innovative, but be entrepreneurial about it. Get connected with us, right? These are my contact information, the website, blah, blah, you know, email address, etc. And I thank you very much. And I'd like to say a special thank you to our dear friends and partners of the Clico Credit Union for having such an amazing session, right? So we are not finished. You are holding on there because you're going to throw some questions at me. I don't have all the answers, but I will try my best to be able to give you all as much as I know. So thank you so very much. And I'm going to pass it over to Moritz while I drink some water. So we're going to dive into some comments, some questions. Who's going to come on, or we're just going to take it from the chat?
Oh, we just take it from the chat.
Sure.
All right, folks. Well, I don't know what to say about this presentation, but it has been very, very informative and interactive. So thank you so much. So, folks, we have some comments and questions on the chat here. You know, from Mr. Joseph Alpha, this was an excellent presentation. I'm really happy to see all the initiatives that you've been working on. I don't know if you've addressed it, but before, how do we, as a small island, compete with larger agriculture producing countries in terms of output and quality and cost? That's an excellent question.
Beautiful question. You know, and I'm so happy that you asked that question because it's something that I have been contemplating on as well, on how do we compete. You know how we compete? We compete with our authenticity and utilize our geographic location or geographic indicators to produce something else that the world cannot produce. What is that? Moruga red pepper. What is that? Trinitario cocoa. That flavor of cocoa that cannot be produced nowhere else in the world. You understand? Scorpion pepper. That pimento pepper that we grow. Yes, sometimes you see people in the we have pimento in the US and what was never really same as our tree pimento. You know? That Valencia orange. I mean, yeah, Florida have some nice orange too, but we have some orange that well. So I say that to say that this is how we have to compete with our location. Yes, we're very small. I mean, sometimes I went on a farm in Denver, I think last year, October, and in Colorado. And the farm was the size, I have a Antigua there. The farm was the size of Antigua. It was probably about a quarter of that. So on a size basis, we can compete with them. But we could take our quality fruits and vegetables that have specific geographic indicators, localized Trinidad, and maximize the potential of that particular crop, fruit, vegetable, you name it, root crop, you know. Is about dashing different from dashing in world. We have taro, but something about dashing is different. So we have to now maximize the potential of that and fetch a high price on the international market. But guess what? We have to know the quality of it. We have to appreciate it. We have to know that it is a high price and it is of good quality for the rest of the world to be able to want it. But if we don't know that, then guess what? We're process of going and coming. How that answers the question?
I'm sure that answered the question, man. Thank you so much. Someone asked, I think this is Anthony Alexis, what about opportunity in kitchen and backyard gardening?
I'm so glad you asked that question. Here's why. We now have a thing because I am the influencer for that program. It's called Grow It Yourself. I'm sure folks at the Ministry of Sport and Community will be so happy to hear me say this to you all. There's a program called Grow It Yourself. Lucky that you asked, lucky that you are here. The deadline has extended to July 5th. And that opportunity is there for over 1 million, I repeat, over 1 million equivalent prizes. They're small, medium, and large scale in your home garden, right? It usually stems from the Prime Minister Best Village competition and trophy competition, but it branched out by itself now to the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. One website. The opportunity is there. I mean, I'm going to ask about opportunities, like the first that come to mind, but of course, the opportunity besides that competition, which I'm encouraging all of you to go and apply, you know, but besides that opportunity, in order to achieve national food security, you know where we must start first? We must start with household food security, then to community food security, then national food security. If the household not food secure, trying to be, me saying everybody will the plant rice and machine and everything, but at least something to bring down your household bill. You know, plant a pimento, I show you one that picture there. That saves you money in the market on Sunday or Saturday, depending on which market you go. It saves you money. So a dollar earned is a dollar saved. And that is making financial sense, my dear.
Financial sense, they get financial sense.
Yes.
Agri-sense, they get financial sense. Good. Excellent presentation from Colleen Holder. Thanks very much for sharing. Let's see here. And best, thank you. Great, relatable, and informative presentation. We also have a question here. The age factor is a problem. I guess some people see it as a problem.
Yeah.
And, you know, this person is 45 and she has a goat farm.
Yeah.
And just wondering, how do you go about getting funding, you know, to expand the business?
Yeah, I mean, well, for sure, in terms of the, I don't know why I mentioned before, but the group yourself, function can be pretty good. That's a wide age group. There are the youth category, the not so youth category, the senior category, so you can check out that, right? But in terms of funding for that, there are many institutions, as I mentioned, and none of them, I mean, the only one that I mentioned that's kind of youth limited is the whole YAP program via the Ministry of Youth, but all the other institutions, People Credit Union, the Agri Development Bank, there's Republic Bank with different initiatives for agri SMEs that you could actually get funding to be able to grow your agricultural initiative. And of course, I'm not sure if your land status and whatnot, but try your best to get your farmer's badge. And there's these incentives, and I did mention the $100,000 grant that is there. People actually get it. I know plenty of people that get it. It's not a fake thing. So you apply and you can be able to get a $100,000 grant to further your activity, whether it's livestock. One component of it though has to do with adding value. So if you are a livestock farmer and you could start to think about, how could I set up my own facility to be able to process my meat? And again, I mentioned further down the value chain you go, the more money you are able to make and become more financially secure. Yeah, so those are thoughts that you could think about to be able to get some funding out there. But you could get.
Good. Natasha Skinner, well, she's so impressed. She says, mind-blowing presentation, Alpha. Thank you for your energy and confidence that we can do and be better. Very relatable examples.
You're welcome, Natasha. God bless you.
Clayton Thomas has a good question here. How common is urban farming in Trinidad and Tobago? And would you recommend it for a starter who has no experience in farming?
I mean, it is growing. It's trending. I myself worked on several projects with organizations such as BCTT, the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago, funded by the UNDP to develop some urban agricultural projects here in East Port of Spain. We had a garden in Gonzales. We had one in Sealux. Those land spaces around the city that is abandoned, like of course with the right permission and leases and whatnot, you get it farmed up. I mean, I do see there's some people that try rooftop gardening as well too. So would I recommend it to get started? Yes, why not? But guess what? With the right education, with the right mentorship, with the right guidance, you are not in it alone. You can be guided accordingly to be able to get these initiatives off the ground. I will never say, well, because you're from Port of Spain or you're from, wherever in Trinidad in the West or whatnot, you can't do agriculture. Of course you can do agriculture. Get the right guidance. That's why you're here today, I'm sure, to be able to start it, and get it growing.
All right. Thanks for that. We have another question here from Kaleem. To venture into the field of agro-tourism, are there any organizations or resources to help or assist or provide advice in this field? And also, are there any coffee trees for sale in Trinidad and where?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of agro-tourism, besides the ministry, of course, the Ministry of Tourism, they are a wide stakeholder base in terms of, they would be my first go-to in terms of agro-tourism, because they actually do a lot of tourism projects. They have the tourism development company and whatnot. But to say there's I don't know of any specific agency or entity that deals with agro-tourism in terms of training and whatnot. But I think via the Ministry of Agriculture as well, the Extension and Training Information Division, the ETIS, they actually offer courses in agro-tourism as well. It's now coming to me as I'm answering the question. So you can check out ETBIS here under the Ministry of Agriculture. They have a lot of training programs. And I just want to say this and put this out there. WHYFARM in 2022, WHYFARM won a Caribbean Sustainable Tourism Award for our agro-tourism initiatives in Superior. That's what I went to Grenada to recently collect the other day. And, I was surprised when I got there and realized the organizations across the region that we actually emerged first amongst, but these organizations who, I guess, doing tourism for so many years. So, having said that, maybe I might be a good resource person to be able to guide you in this agro-tourism thing as well, because you're looking at somebody who's doing it. I don't know everything about it. I mean, I actually take a lot of training from the Dean of the Faculty of Social at University of West Indies, Dr. Akula. She would mentor us as well and train us as well in the whole tourism aspect as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm an open book, so feel free to reach out. I definitely would be willing to share as well.
I think, Alpha, that is it for the questions. I think, during the session, they were asking about the slide, and if it is, they can get the slide. But we will definitely share some snippets on our social media and so on. And also, if they have any questions, we will share your email and so on, so that they can ask you those questions directly.
Absolutely.
So, Alpha, if you could just share your email again with them. And your contact details.
Yeah. So there you guys have it, and guys, follow us on social media, get onto Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and follow us there. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a recommendation or what is the recommendation?
A testimonial.
A testimonial, give us something, Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, well, good, man. I mean, let me tell you, I think given all the comments and so on in the chat, this has really been a real informative and interactive session. From roots to riches, man. And I think that we have gleaned numerous takeaways and gems from this entire webinar. I mean, understanding the difference between food security and food and nutrition security. It was a serious. You understand? And the fact that, you know what, we are doing this, what is the why? And the why is our planet, our planet. So while you think about your passion and your problems, Alpha was the 4 P's, your passion, your problem, your purpose. Fourth P is the planet. So don't forget the planet at all.
Because we often try to run down the profits. I know, we need this to survive. We can walk in the courts and say, well, I'm doing good work, so I ain't can't pay my bill this month. You need to pay a bill, but you have to be able to remember the planet and everything that you do. I think that connects us to that purpose and to that why.
Absolutely. And I think a key takeaway or gem for me is the I in my idea and the you in my uniqueness, So that was a key gem for me. Also looking at, you don't have to be just making pimentos, but you can consider all the steps throughout the entire food agricultural value chain. Exploring various types of businesses, man, from small scale to urban farming to agritourism to farm to table initiatives and so on. Real key takeaways, learning where we can acquire the necessary skills. A lot of the programs that the government has that, we can get $100,000. And I think you could get 2 acres of land in the YAP program. So, Alpha, I'm confident that from tomorrow, people will start telling their children, it's okay if you want to become a farmer.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yes. That's what we want. That's what we achieve it.
It's okay if you want to become a farmer. It's okay if you want to use your passion for marketing and branding or technology and so on, and incorporate that in the agribusiness. So you've really shared some valuable ideas for us, even from the crop to shop. I like that. From the crop to shop. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you for bringing all of this information to us free of charge, So thank you so much. I want to thank the BDM team, Kendall, Harry, and John C. Prasad for coordinating the session with the WHYFARM team. Thank you to your team as well. It was a real smooth process, bringing this all together. And also thank you to this active audience that just participated from the get-go. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much. So folks, we want to just wish you a good evening and look out for the next webinar at the end of the month on our social media channels and websites at clicocu.com. I am Maritza De Silva. I think I'm going to be an agri woman.
Yes.
I'm going to be an agri woman and really wishing you a good evening here from Clico Credit Union. Thank you.
you.